How did the popular whole of your school get the taste of their own medicine? This might be over the line, but he got cancer. Don't kill the messenger, man. That's just how the world played out. Middle school, when the bell rang to change classes, the hallways were a horrific traffic jam. Everyone suffered through trying to get to their lockers in the next class on time. Enter the popular guy, who thought it was funny to sneak up behind some unsuspecting student who's at his locker and smack the back of the student's head, causing the student to bang his head into his locker. The guy got several warnings to stop, but he didn't. He thought it was so funny. Then one day he picked on the wrong student. Guy got punched square in the face, fell down and lost a tooth. Not a single person, from teacher to student, came to his defense. When his parents came to the school all upset, everyone told them their son got what he deserved. Never bullied me, but apparently was a giant a hole to everybody. Star football running back. Had multiple scholarships to Division I. Then he broke his leg and all the offers evaporated. Went to a 503 school. Had a couple kids. Got divorced. Then posted all of his old scholarships to Facebook at age 40. Really sad to see. Literally argued with every single person on the reunion Facebook group. Everyone told him how much they always hated him. He's now literally insane. Posts 30, 40 times a day on Facebook of foreign Instagram models with long diatribes about love and life translated into 10 different languages. Posts nearly nude shots of himself also, most hyping himself up. A dark spiral. He got kicked in the nuts 5 times in a row by the same kid. Star quarterback tried to up his girlfriend. She was a Golden Glove boxer. She put him in the hospital for a week. My teacher. She loved to use humiliation against me. I was severely depressed at the time, and she thought I was a slacker. I'm a little person. And she would get me to turn off the lights for the projector, or to write on the whiteboard, only to feign ignorance and apologize when I struggled to reach. One day she crossed the line, and I went to the deputy head teacher. He decided to reprimand her during a lesson, in front of her entire class, to give her a taste of humiliation, too. Oh boy, this is a lengthy one. But anyway, this wasn't really a school, more like a neighborhood. Hope it still counts. There was this one guy named Cheerio, yes that's his name, who used to bully all of the younger kids in the neighborhood. He was a high schooler. On the other hand, I was probably about 6 or 7 at the time and my younger brother was like 3 or 4. For 2 weeks straight, every day me and my younger brother went outside to play. Cheerio would beat us up. Me and my brother didn't tell anyone though, because to be honest, we thought he was just fooling around with us and didn't mean to hurt us. At the time, neither of us had any concept of what was or what wasn't dangerous, and our father play fighting with us felt more real and exciting. It wasn't until Cheerio dumped my brother in a garbage can and made him cry that I finally took him seriously. I threw a rock at him and ran away because I knew I could never beat him in a straight up fight. Of course I didn't actually outrun him that day, and I ended up getting beat up. But that didn't stop me from telling my father about the situation. My father asked me what Cheerio did, and I didn't tell him about the part about me losing, but the fact that he dumped my brother in a garbage can. My dad told me that if I ever see Cheerio again, let him my father know. The next day, I saw Cheerio picking on some kids and I immediately told my father, and he ended up confronting Cheerio head on, beat his ass, and dumped him in a garbage can. I don't think I ever saw Cheerio ever since. The teacher wouldn't let one guy in my classroom to go to the restroom to pee, so he peed on an Arizona can. When the bell rang, the guy started heading to the restroom to empty the can and the biggest bully of the school bumped into him. Took the can, of course, sipped it. He soon realized it didn't taste like tea. It was glorious. Star athlete picked on the fat kids in gym. Fast forward a couple decades. He's fat and bald. Saw him using a Walmart scooter recently, buying crap food. One of the kids he picked on got in shape, stayed that way, and became a top tier endurance athlete. So sweet. popular kid for some reason picked on me a lot, hated me, and he got 4 people beat the shit out of me. Next day my brother 3 years older than me, a 6'5" giant freak of nature, in one punch knocked him out. Best day of my life. Big football stud got his ass kicked by a bunch of cowboys for mouthing off one too many times. Then went to college to play ball there. Then got into drugs and was in a hole to his team. Bounced around a couple NFL teams as a quarterback after that and sucked. Then went to jail a couple of times for theft related to his prescription drug problem. His name is now famous for screwing up. He thought he was also cool during gym class, climbing the basketball hoop and sitting on it, while our teacher kept telling him to come down. And then he got stuck, didn't know how to get down, and our teacher made us all sit down and stare at him. No one was allowed to talk as this dude awkwardly tried to find a way down until he half climbed, half fell in the middle of this dead silent gym. There was this guy in my high school named Toby who was a massive douche, but also popular due to being on the basketball team. Loved to pick fights and play rough. Toby bit off more than he could chew when he elbowed this one classmate named Andy during playing a friendly game. After taking the hit, Andy just straight up decked Toby in the face, knocking him out and making lose 3 of his front teeth and a swollen lip. Toby learned his lesson and stopped being a dick after that. Band was pretty popular where I lived. I mean, there were super popular kids in band. They had a lot of hazing. I don't know their pecking order, but if someone senior to you told you to do something band related, you had to do it. There was this one chick who was the second senior person in the whole band. She was always shitting on everyone every single day. One day, that one girl who was senior to her called her out and made her march all over the school in front of everyone and made her sing a bunch of chants and more. I wasn't even in band and it still seemed harsh to me. He copied my exams for English, math, and science in our junior year, except he didn't know that I purposely put the wrong answers for 80% of the questions and then redid the exam. After he turned his in, he failed all 3 classes miserably, and when he confronted me to see if I failed too, I just shrugged and said we must have had different versions of the exam. She got knocked up in grade 12. I never had any problems with her personally, but she was a major BTCH to a lot of people. Karma, I guess. So in junior high there was a kid, we'll call him Mark, and he would always pick on another kid, Steve, in gym. Mark would do things like spray him with Axe or slap the back of his head. One day Steve was carrying a book and Mark tried to take it, but I guess Steve had been practicing Aikido or something, cause one moment Mark's hand is on the book, and by extension Steve's hand, and the next Mark is laying on his back, and Steve is calmly walking away. Boss move. He went bald at 24. Ironically, dozens of other classmates started going bald in their early 30s. He made a Facebook post that said, "For those finally going bald, some of us went bald years ago and have already made it through the grieving process. Good luck." I thought it was actually funny, and perhaps losing his hair so early may have humbled him. A popular girl bullied me all through middle school. Then in high school she sat next to me the day we were given one of those read the directions tests. She was not so wise as to read the directions. I got to sit there for 10 sweet minutes watching her panic more and more over the ridiculous tasks the test asked of her. She was 2 years older than me and gave me shit, soaking my sleeping bag in nail polish remover during summer camp, bullying during the school year, the whole 9 yards. She only stopped when she had to change school because she was expelled for ducking a student in the school bathroom. Out of curiosity, I did a checkup on her not too long ago, and turns out she's a drug addict who's in and out of rehab with 3 kids, different dads, and she still lives with her deadbeat parents. In junior high, this one popular kid had a habit of stealing things from my backpack, spreading humiliating rumors about me, did his best to make sure I would have no friends, vandalized my bike multiple times, and is likely responsible for why I'm physically disabled. He would get other students to join in on all of this. I got smart and gathered enough evidence of the harassment And he ended up getting to be followed around the school every day by a teacher's aide for the entire last half of grade 9. He lost almost all of his following when this happened. He got beat up by the new special needs kid. This kid used to taunt me every day at school, and for the longest time I took the abuse. One day he pushed me too far. I think he started talking shit about my mother and I pushed him to the ground and beat him in front of everyone. He ended up with a bloody nose and some bruises. Dude never said another word to me. Consider subscribing if you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more of Reddit Universe.